continuing on with the floating avocado, and I am going to do just another stronger pass on the fruit, flesh, meat part of the avocado. This is kind of the study I've been slowly kind of building up. This has several things in addition to just some light, watery Hansa yellow light. Anyways, I don't know that I videotaped that so much, but I was having fun, so oh well. But that's the idea, is that I'm going to keep bringing in some stronger Hansa yellow light, my lemony yellow, over the top upper area here, and then transition to a little bit more green as I get down here and over here. I may, depending on how it goes, try to dab in a little bit of darker color around the edges, the outer part of the shape, to create a little gradation going towards the peel. But let's see. I have this here. I have... What happened to all my cobalt teal over there? I am going to mostly do just sort of a flat wash. Maybe start adding a little bit of cobalt teal as I get towards the lower section. But let's go. This is a nice brush. It's a little bit bigger than the one I think I used for the first round. Yeah, so I just grabbed a little bit of a cobalt teal as I continue down here, so I didn't really define this part so well. There's an interesting sort of idea that you know, I do have green in here, so as I'm going, you know, I'm not going to finish that thought. But sometimes you can control if a color you don't want to go into an area doesn't go there by just sort of continuing your brush stroke. So that's nice. If I don't want to use that big old brush to bring in a little bit of darker green, because that would be too watery. But I'm using this smaller brush, and yeah, you remember when I said depending on how it goes? I think I was focused on making sure that was a nice, even, smooth wash. So it's pretty dry up here, so I'm not going to try to go back and darken the edges, because that would just make a back run. My masking fluid is pretty darn sloppy, if you want to know the truth. Over here, I can tell because I'm wanting to paint that and nothing's happening. Same with right there. Oh well, I may try to adjust that a little bit. And since this area is going to be darker shadow with its own shape, this shadow area here, I'm putting in a little bit of darker color there. Yeah. Maybe have fun with a little bit more dark down here while I can. Some of the lighter color paint is pooling down there, so but this is definitely the idea of both building up the intensity of the overall shape as well as the intensity of the gradation towards the edges, building that up slowly and in smaller sections, not trying to do the whole avocado at once. I think that will dry just fine, and I think I want to have some fun launching into the background. And I can do that because my because I do have this area of masking fluid, so it's not gonna, it won't touch this shape that's already wet. I'm gonna do this outside shape. So one thing I have done is wet the entire shape first. But there's no rule that says you can't sort of just use a bigger brush, and like this one that I'm using is not huge, but there's no rule that says I can't just sort of use this round brush and just try to go really quickly and sort of lightly to wet the shape down pretty quickly. If you don't have a soft brush and a soft touch as well, then this can make things pretty streaky, which is one of the reasons I like that hockey brush. And it just sort of covers a bigger area that much faster. But once again, this background is just kind of a fun, messy mix of what I feel like at the given moment. And at this given moment, speaking of given moments, I think I might actually curious about grabbing a little bit of ultramarine blue and bringing it in sort of up there and there. I haven't really refined my the edge up to the actual avocado part, so I'm gonna grab a different brush and make sure I do that. And I don't know, maybe I'll grab a little bit of rose or something and a little bit of burnt orange, just sort of out of curiosity, see what that's like as I go around. Not a whole lot different, but kind of fun. Let's see, how about a little more burnt orange? I don't know. This little spot right here had extra, too much masking fluid. So I'm not too worried about those edges because, you know, I'll be painting in a really dark peel skin sort of thing. Let's see, I'm just sort of having fun with like thinking about what if I had some really sort of thick mix, a thicker mix of paint, and started painting that around. And what about some rose that's a little bit thicker too. And mostly I'm just, you know, having fun, like I've been saying, kind of darkening the whole background, leaving a little bit of area right around the avocado that's still a little bit light. If something like this, if I feel like, you know, I kind of wish you weren't coming up that far, I'll just bring in some water and coax that color away. And if it's coming too close to the actual avocado, I may try to do a similar thing, although it looks like that the darker color that's there is mostly already there from previous layers, so that's not really moving with plain old water. But there's a little bit more of the ultramarine. Heck, what if I bring in a little bit of indigo to start really kind of getting some areas that are clearly darker, and that way making the little rose too, making the non-dark areas that much more obviously not dark. It's 300-pound paper, so it's pretty forgiving. Just squeeze some color there, maybe there, maybe some rose down here. I do seem to be creating a little pattern of cooler colors up towards the top and kind of warmer towards the lower part. I think that could be okay. So yeah, that will all dry back quite a bit. I am going to do one last thing. I'm going to try to, even though it's not going to do a whole lot, I'm going to try to lift out where I know my little floaty cast shadow is going to be, and that's not going to do a whole lot, but just sort of helping me know where that's going to be. It's going to end up being darker, so that may seem a little counterintuitive, and as I think about it, it might seem that way to me a little bit right now as well, but oh well. I will let that dry, and I will come back and have more fun. Okay.